Batman with prep time is beating Jesus.
Huh?
In a 1v1.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Steve. I'm back with another video. Today we got the most glazed characters of all time 3. Nah, did I start at 1? I'll just go with 3 because that's what popped up in the For You. Shout out to Olama-sama.
Batman with prep time is beating Jesus.
Huh?
In a 1v1.
So in our last installment of this series, we went through a plethora of characters like Mihawk, Gojo, Saitama, etc. However, I'd be lying if I didn't say that video missed some pretty obvious candidates.
Hey, it's me, Goku!
Don't worry, we're gonna get to your fans shortly. I really felt obligated to don the mask once more and become a hater yet again. And plus, some of y'all did mention that you were waiting for this part anyways. So this video will be one of the few times where I'll break my golden rule of spamming a certain type of video. Also, get ready, because a lot of the characters in this video are heavy hitters. Because the first character we're talking about is Son Goku. Now, Goku was a very clear pick to put in this series due to the fact that he's like the most popular anime character of all time. Shoot, he's one of the most popular characters in general. A pure-hearted Saiyan, protector of Earth, and contrary to popular belief, a good father. And
He might be, I think he's the most popular anime character of all time, above like Naruto, to be honest with you.
a lot of people were wondering why I didn't put him in the last one. The main reason was because we had recently found out about Akira Toriyama's death about 2 weeks before I made the video, and it was still fresh in my mind. So I didn't want to come off as disrespecting Dragon Ball fans so soon after the passing of a man who played a massive role in mine and many other people's childhoods. However, it's important to know that we can talk about the Goku Glazers without disrespecting the work of Akira Toriyama. With that being said, we can start off with the infamous meme, "Can he beat Goku?"
Okay.
This meme,
I didn't even think of that. That was some different glaze. That was Krispy Kreme donut.
was derived from Goku being one of the stronger characters in fiction, and boy do the Goku Glazers abuse it. Now, when you hear the meme sparingly, it's pretty funny, but at a certain point, it doesn't even feel like a joke anymore, and people are genuinely just implementing Goku.
It was like how you would click on any post on the internet, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, and see why be better. It was like that, but like people were being serious. It was like, I don't know.
Into random conversations that didn't include him in the first place. Goku Glazers have ran this joke into the ground so much that the strength of Goku is seemingly the only thing that people care about nowadays.
Facts.
It's really unfortunate too. Y'all really be making this man look like an extremely one-dimensional character when all—
And I'm not gonna lie, that boy Saitama got something for you, Goku. That's all it was. What's that season 3 drop? Hey, listen, I'm not even a One Punch fan for real. It's a cool show, but I seen what happened in that manga. I seen it in panels. And you Goku fans, your time is coming.
all you do is glaze his strength and transformations. And I know that Goku is strong, but there are stronger characters out there. If you only talk to a Goku meat writer, you think that Goku is the strongest character in fiction or something.
Man, how did I forget this? Yo, it's really crazy how I forgot this aspect of the glaze, because one of my friends is literally the top Dragon Ball glazer. I'm serious. This man, like, he's Dragon Ball top 1. Nothing can ever beat it. Goku this, Goku that, Gohan this, Gohan. Like, yo, bro, I don't know how I didn't even think of this.
Sorry, but Goku isn't soloing all of Marvel or DC like some of his fans may say.
Not even
Don't
close.
even get me started on Superman versus Goku. Some Goku fans will get so mad about the result of the versus battles between these two, but fail to realize that Superman was doing some crazy things throughout his runs. Superman will beat the brakes off of Goku, and that's perfectly fine. Some of these Goku Glazers dead be losing sleep over this fact. It doesn't take away anything from his character, unless of course you boiled him down to a device to make random arguments with people online about him beating other fictional characters. Goku fans will also rant about everyone copying Goku and how X character copied Goku because their hair changes color when they transform. We know that Dragon Ball Z has influenced and has inspired many authors. However, calling something a straight up copy or ripoff is disingenuous to the actual creativity some of these creators have put in. Goku himself has been inspired by other characters like Sun Wukong the Monkey King, or even Superman when you compare their origin stories. There's nothing wrong with inspiration. Some Goku fans just refuse to acknowledge that it exists. Then finally, the worst part about some of these Goku Glazers is that some of them have never even watched Dragon Ball Z at all and just start talking about things that never actually happened. There are times where you can't even have good discussions with these guys.
I don't know if he has ever covered it, but bro, they're starting to do that with One Piece. It's people saying One Piece is the greatest anime of all time. I'm not even gonna get too much. It's people saying One Piece is the greatest anime of all time, but these same people are skipping arcs. What? What are you talking about? How? Explain to me how a show can be the greatest show of all time and you're skipping parts of it. You're skipping whole arcs of the show. How? That makes no sense.
Because a lot of their claims are just baseless. The only Dragon Ball Z they've consumed is Dragon Ball Z Abridged, which is really good, don't get me wrong, but it has caused irreparable brain damage to some of these Goku fans. For our next character, we got Luffy, who...
I'm nice. Thank you. Let me see how he lays it down though. But also on the Goku, to be honest, Superman versus Goku, it's not fair. It's never been fair. It's never going to be fair because Superman has had multiple writers since like what, the 30s, and Goku has had one writer until just now recently for his whole entire existence since the 80s. So it's not fair. It's never going to be fair. And all these new writers for Superman are really just trying to one-up the last writer and do bigger and better things. That's why you've seen him pulling the solar system by a chain. How do you even connect the planets by a chain? I don't know. I didn't read the comics, but comics in general, it's like that for every character, to be honest. You literally have to one-up the last iteration, no matter what character is. That's why comic book characters all have insane, stupid feats, because it's different writers writing new feats to up the last feat. You could probably find a feat for Reed Richards to beat Zeno. Like, literally, you probably could find that. You could probably find that.
doesn't really have many aspects that I
It's Fantastic Code, though. Don't get it. You know what I'm saying? But let's be serious.
See people glaze personally. A lot of Luffy glazers will often yap about him being the best character in all of fiction, which is kind of a cliff jump to me, but I can't.
I know I'm pausing a lot. He's definitely top 2 main characters, though. He's definitely top 2 main characters. I'm not even the person that, if I watch the show, I think the main character is my favorite character or the best character. But in terms of main characters, I'm gonna be honest, it's him and Naruto. Keep it a buck.
You can't necessarily blame someone for having that opinion. If that's what you genuinely think, you honestly got it. He's a main character, one of the biggest series of all time. His personality and characterization has never been portrayed as annoying to me, and his development in response to trauma over the series has been great. A lot of the time though, the Luffy fans and the Naruto glazers will have wars over whose ideals are better while trying to dunk on the others. Actually, both try to put down other characters while being obnoxious about their own. I just ain't put the Naruto glazers in this video because they so happen to be less in number. And I guess we should address the 800-year-old elephant in the room, Gear 5. This transformation has to be the most hyped up thing in the anime community in the last 5 years or so. The way people were yapping about this being the best transformation of all time is flagrant. They said that this transformation was gonna break the internet like UI Goku. It didn't. And that this transformation was better than Super Saiyan. It isn't. Matter of fact, if you know anyone who believes that Gear 5 is over Super Saiyan, disassociate with them rapidly or check them into a mental institute.
I will say this though, to shoot Luffy some bail here. One, it was different. Like UI Goku, it was teased in the manga, but the UI Goku was so viral in the moment because it dropped in it was animated. It dropped in animation before it was in the manga. That's why it was such a huge explosion. So if we use that type of inflation for Gear 5, I think the same type of effect happens. Like it was so big from the manga that it was in news stations everywhere. If we set the bar for the inflation for the it blew up in the manga. It blew up through panels. What was the last manga to blow up? You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna happen for real. But it was still huge. It was still mega viral through panels. Now, what if Oda had said, let me chill, let me stop making the manga, but keep the anime going, and drop the anime Gear 5 before the manga? It would have went stupid. I'm not going to lie. Because in One Piece, whether they love it, hate it, or whatever, it's the biggest anime right now. So it's going to go crazy regardless. Everyone's watching it. It's hot. It's going to go stupid. The main character gets a new, Gear 5. It would have went stupid. So I think it would have had the same effect, bare minimum, had they did what UI did.
The actual abilities of the transformation itself get meat-ridden even more because Luffy has Toon Force, which is a term that's been overused so much that it lost its meaning. Really? There are clearly levels to Toon Force, from Looney Tunes nonsense to making sunglasses out of thin air. Like, Luffy's Toon Force is clearly weaker than what Bugs Bunny can do, and I don't want anyone to talk about this statement and say that Luffy equals Popeye in terms of Toon Force. You are lying.
He doesn't yet. I have a theory that by the end of the series, he's going to be stronger than Goku. I know that for a fact. But, you know what I'm saying? The powers and the hockey and the devil fruits this isn't really theorized. I'm pretty sure it's confirmed. It's basically attached to the strength of your will, right? So essentially, and I'm kind of misquoting this stuff, it's been a minute, but essentially my theory is at the end of the series, Luffy is going to be able on some Alien X type beat, he's going to be able to imagine anything and make it happen. That's what I think is going to happen, because, and they've like left little tidbits in the series, low key. I know One Piece isn't the most serious show, but they have series like moments where it's like, and I think it's been a thing. I think it's always been a thing, but I think it's going to be based on imagination. I think it's going to be based on imagination. I think it's going to be a thing where it's like, yo, Luffy, the reason you can't swim with the devil fruit is because that's what everyone thinks. I don't think that's a real thing. I just think that's a thing that was set somewhere in the Void Century. I don't think it's an actual thing. I think it's just everything is based on imagination and what you think to be real. You know what I'm saying? Kind of how, like, I know, like I said, I know it's not the most serious show, but you gotta walk with me. How in Thriller Bark, Luffy lost a tooth and drank milk to grow it back. I don't think that was just like a silly little cartoony moment. I think that is like foreshadowing into what he can do specifically with his fruit. Maybe more, maybe not his fruit. Maybe it's just all imagination and nothing about the fruits depend. Maybe it's just a legendary Zoan thing, something. But I think it's all going to be based upon imagination at the end of the day.
Luffy's Toon Force gets used so much that apparently this guy could be anyone just because of it. You can make a whole argument complete with all the sources and citations.
I don't think Luffy's Toon Force is there yet,
and a Luffy
obviously,
Glazer will say that Toon Force solos. These guys ignore the fact that he still arguably could have lost to Kaido if Kaido hadn't been fighting so long before his encounter with Gear 5. But you know, my gripe isn't with just Luffy meat riders whatsoever. It's with a greater force than that. I have gripes with those who glaze Oda himself. Now, in the comments of the last video, I saw someone talk about Oda, the author of One Piece, being in the discussion for one of the most glazed characters of all time. Now, Oda isn't a character at all. He's in fact a real person, but I don't really care. I'm making an exception. It's my
Oda is a character. Oda is a character. His name is on one of the books that was on Robin's, it was, you know how Robin's Island, they had like that huge library. His name was on one of those books. So technically, Oda is a character.
See, I probably should address that I'm not a One Piece hater at all. Like, I think some of y'all believe that I genuinely hate One Piece when I enjoy it quite a bit. Someone finna be like, oh, this guy always talks about One Piece, he must be obsessed.
That's how it be though. Like, I be telling the truth. Like, yo, I just be saying the facts. Like, yo, One Piece is too long. Or maybe not even One Piece is too long. The show can be long as it needs to. I'll be like, yo, the pacing is bad. Really, really, really bad at times. The fights really weren't top tier. They weren't really top tier until just now, until they hit Wano. So, like, I be saying stuff like that, and that'd be my reason for not being the #1 anime of all time. You tripping, you bugging. What? The fight's been hard. What? Pacing ain't too long. Cap, people be skipping arcs. And me, myself, in Wano, when they was running up to that roof, running, yo, I had to pick up the manga. What I did was I literally picked up the manga when they was running and doing some extra stuff, and then turned the show back on whenever they got to a fight. Oh, they cool. They done with this specific fight. Pick the manga back up, running. Like, I had to, bro. I had to. It's honestly the best way to get through One Piece.
And that's true. I like the series a lot. I should clarify more often what I do hate
I love
about
the series.
One
I think
Piece,
it's
though.
top.
And it's not
30.
even the series itself. It's the nonsense that a lot of One Piece fans say, and they say a lot of it. Like, for example, to some people, Oda is like a god to them and have nicknamed him Gada, which is crazy
insane.
meat gobbling, but I can pass it off as a joke. But for some unbeknownst reason, some believe that Oda can actually do no wrong, and he's some mastermind who's planned all of One Piece since the 90s. If you believe this, you're just blatantly ignorant.
Nah. I think he even said himself that the show was supposed to originally end after Marineford, or maybe a few arcs before, but he's just always had like the last panel locked into his brain. Like, what the last panel he's literally just going as he goes. He's not really, people think because some things connect so well from 2-3 arcs down the line, that's not really how it's working. But he is code for connecting the dots still.
The original plan for One Piece was something like Luffy going to the Grand Line, fighting the 4 emperors, finding the One Piece, and calling it a story from there. There were no warlords, supernovas, none of that. Oda is just that good of a writer that he's had idea after idea after idea that he could help build upon in the plot. Like, do you seriously believe that Oda knew what Egghead was gonna look like in 2001? No. It's actually more impressive that he's able to create ideas on the fly like this. Apparently, he created the supernovas in a short amount of time to make the Sabaody arc more robust. There's nothing wrong with this. A lot of authors have done this in the past when they get suggested an idea, like Kishimoto with Sasuke. Another thing I think gets dragged a lot by Oda Glazers is foreshadowing. Like, I could go more in depth into another video if y'all want, but Oda is an amazing writer, so he's been able to make the plot work without something like Haki not being fully fleshed out, or make callbacks to past arcs like Skypia to make Gear 5 even more special.
Yo, this is 100% facts. Gear 5 was never supposed to be a thing. He didn't know about Gear 5. What be blowing me, yo, hold on, what did he say? Hold on.
Haki not being fully fleshed.
What be blowing me is the Haki, bro. Now, you know, if you watched One Piece front to back, not even front to back, if you watched all of the pre-time skip, my brother, where was the color of arms? Where? And it's fine. It can be a little plot hole. It can be a little, you know what I'm saying? Like, people be like, Oda just didn't want us to know exactly what it was. He just wanted to hint at it. Stupid. Because when Shanks blocked what's his name? Akainu with his sword, right? Straight sword. He had to be using color of arms. Where was it at though? In comparison to post-time skip, if that would have happened post-time skip, you would have clearly seen this man have a black arm, a black sword. It's like, come on, bro. Let's be serious. That's fine. Haki did exist. All of the Haki did not exist, but it should have, is my point. Like, you see Shanks walk on the Whitebeard's boat and start knocking his crew out, right? You seen Shanks knock out the Sea King that was trying to eat Luffy and bit his arm off, right? You've seen all that, right? But like the color of arms, that's a plot hole. I'm sorry. It is.
Out or make callbacks to past arcs like Skypia to make Gear 5 even more special. I love the man's work, but geez, y'all be going overboard with how much y'all believe Oda had everything planned. Before I move into the Quattro Espada, if you're enjoying the video so far and you're new, you might as well subscribe.
This may be the last ad you see. With Pi Adblock, visit your favorite websites and watch ads.
I might need some pie.
Anyways, on to Ulquiorra, who has to be a top 3 most glazed character.
Hold on, you gotta talk to me.
I don't know when it happened, but some of y'all be talking about this Ulquiorra guy like he's really one of the top tiers in the verse. Y'all be putting him in Espada gauntlets, and people will legitimately say that he runs through them all. And we all know what Ulquiorra Glazers cling on to too. His segunda etapa.
I'm gonna keep it a bug. It's been a minute since I watched Bleach. Right, and my experience with Bleach wasn't the most fond because I was ignorant to the fact of what filler was. Mind you, I don't count filler. I'm not a person that counts filler in general. But I watched Bleach front to back, and I thought it was pretty mid. But my view on it was obviously skewed by the filler. You're not supposed to count filler. Right? Some people still do in 2025. I don't know why you do that. But I think I need to rewatch Bleach to get a more accurate view on the show. But even with what I watched, I didn't watch the 1,000 Year Blood War arc either. That's fairly new. But even I watched the whole show front to back, and people be talking like that show. Yo, the Bleach fans, he's talking about Ulquiorra specifically. Bleach fans be glazing this show some crazy, some stupid. They be glazing this whole like it didn't get canceled back in the day. That's what be blowing me. They be glazing this hoe like it did not get taken off the airways. But it's cool. They be like, it's the number 1 in the big 3, number 2 in the big. Boy, stop capping, bro. You don't have to. It's not like, yo, it's free to tell the truth, bro. I understand you love the series. It's not. But it did play a big, it's why it's in the big 3, because it is a fairly decent show, and it was, it has a lot to do with the inspiration of it inspired a lot of new, you know what I'm saying, shows and stuff. So it gets credit where it's due. And like I said, I got to rewatch without the filler to really give it an accurate depiction. But even with what I watched, bro, it's like, it wasn't even like, Obviously, Soul Society, Waco Mundo, cool, but like, yeah. It wasn't. It's not touching the other two in the big three. I still say it is in the big three though, because it factually is. Anyone who says it's not in the big three, you're stupid.
Form has caused so many people to say that Ukiura is secretly the strongest Espada, which he isn't. The common argument is that Ukiura says that Aizen doesn't know about his second stage, and so his number 4 ranking isn't accurate, and therefore he's the strongest, and he fought Ichigo and yada 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 yada. Just because Ukiura thinks that Aizen doesn't know about his resurrection doesn't mean that Aizen actually doesn't know. This man Aizen created the Arankar and the Espada with the Hogyoku, and not only that, he planned all of Ichigo's fights in the previous arcs to make sure Ichigo got stronger. One of these fights was against Ukiura, so you Ukiura fans are telling me that Aizen planned all of this and just never knew that Ukiura had a second stage. Does it make sense for a mastermind to plan something for someone and not know the full extent of all the pieces in the plan? Imagine you're helping a friend with a game you created, and there's a final boss you want him to be able to beat. Prior to this boss, there are a series of other enemies they should learn how to beat to make sure they are prepared for the final boss. And then there's one boss in the game that just happened to have a second stage that you didn't know about, even though you created the game. It just doesn't make sense. Your number is correlated with your strength. Therefore, Stark, Haribel, Baragon, and Yami are all stronger than Ukiura because their numbers are higher than him. Haribel might be suspect, but for the sake of the agenda, putting her above him too.
Powers are very fire.
He had a cool dynamic with Ichigo with the idea of trying to make Ichigo give up, but he can still be all those things while also not being the number 1 Espada, which he isn't. Next up, we have the King of Curses, Sukuna, who's gotta be the second most glazed character.
Don't hate me, 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 don't hate me. You know what I'm saying? We gotta skip those.
When in reality, both Gojo and Sukuna are neck and neck in strength. Like,
Sukuna
Sukuna was definitely making her bleed. Hold on. Automatically seem to be anyone in Infinity.
Hold on, brother.
Overpowered Kekkei Genkai or Kamakura, mostly because some of you guys are up there with the worst of them. This segment is gonna be kept a bit shorter than usual, mostly because I don't really see too much Minato glaze, and that's not me saying it doesn't exist.
Hey, he's cooking. I ain't gonna lie, he's cooking. Okay, let me let him talk.
Just haven't come across it. Like, something I commonly see Minato fans talking about is how he had no overpowered Kekkei Genkai, or that he wasn't a reincarnation of an Otsutsuki, so he was pure talent and dedication, making all the things he did that much more impressive. And can I really blame them? Those are true statements. In Naruto, we typically see a lot of other characters with some crazy advantage because of their clan or something, but Minato was able to become Hokage and become the strongest one at that, besides Naruto and Hashirama and Kakashi. Just ignore those guys. Genuinely asking, are people saying he's a top tier or something? Maybe it's the flying Raijin or the run on site order that got people in the chokehold. His reign as Hokage wasn't anything revolutionary because it was so short. To be honest, I don't really see what people are talking about. Oh my.
That's insane, Glaze. Now let me talk right quick. Yo, it just be blowing me how he's so, you can like him, yes, but it be blowing me, and this be blowing me with all types of characters, bro. It be blowing me how you can grow an attachment to a character, such a strong attachment to a character you barely seen or barely knew. That's what be really blowing me. And it's like, yo, this really be someone's favorite characters. This really be people's favorite characters. And he's cold, don't get me wrong. He's super cold. But it's like, really? I mean, what do you like off of? Cause he beat a 16-year-old Obito? And I mean, yeah, he beat a 16-year-old Obito. He I guess he saved the village from the Nine Tails, right? And then he was, you know what I'm saying, putting in some work in the 4th Great Ninja War, right? And when he was reanimated, cool, right? Other than that, it's like, yeah, Flea on Sight. He was in the other Great Ninja War. What was that, the 3rd? Had to be the 3rd. 3rd Great Ninja War, fighting B and A. It's like, it's like, where are your, like... And people be gassing that Obito fight. Obito was 16 years old, right? He still had the Kanwi, which is very overpowered. He was 16 years old, and the fight, people be talking about that's one of the best fights in Naruto. The fight lasted 2 minutes, my brother. Literally, the fight lasted 2 minutes, my brother. What are you talking about? How? That's all I gotta say. How? But that's my only gripe. I don't understand how this could be your favorite character, personally.
This is an interesting one. The Flash? Oh,
He not
okay,
beating the
I think I
Flash.
understand now. There are some of y'all who be giving this man crazy glaze. He is not beating the
Stupid
Flash. I don't
glaze.
care if he dodged the Raikage or anything. That teleportation is not fast enough. The yellow Flash is nothing to the actual Flash. How did you delude yourself into believing this? Minato fans, you dead gotta defend yourself. Does
He
this
doesn't
guy
have the
speak?
reaction speed. Teleportation is instant, but yo, you know how fast the Flash is? You know how fast this man is?
Dang, this is so crazy. Bro, who's the last character on the list? And last but certainly
I don't know how
not
you didn't
least,
get the
we have
Batman
Batman
before 3.
Batman is one of the 3 most iconic
I don't know
superheroes of
how.
all time, and easily, in my opinion, the most glazed character, not in anime, cartoons, comics, but in fiction. I like Batman, but I don't really have many positive things to say about the Glazers. These guys are easily the most delusional
He's
fan
just
base.
Cap. He's just Batman in himself is Cap. He's just like, yo, I can beat him with prep time. Like, come on, bro. That's the answer every time. Give him prep time. Give him prep time. Give him prep. My brother in Christ, who in tar niggity nation, when you talk about a 1v1 fair ones, throw your fists up and bang, who is talking about prep time? There's no prep time in that situation. It's these 2 characters get teleported into a field. Now, Box, he's losing 98% of the time. 98 to every other, like, notable character. And it's only 98 because there's characters in anime and stuff that are actual humans with little to no powers. But 98% of the notable characters is whooping that man. It's not close either. Ain't no prep time. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no smoke bombs or stealth gonna save you from these hands, big bro. I'm sorry.
I've ever seen.
Like,
These guys
bro.
will yap about Batman and his prep time and how he'll be able to beat anyone with it. If you watch WWE and you know who Paul Heyman is, it's like that type of glazing.
I don't watch WWE.
Slayer, a conqueror, the goat of all goats, who, like they say, at the end of the match, the ultimate needle mover, the head of the table.
These fans are the same people that really try to convince people that Batman will beat Kratos without prep time. Like, what are we doing here? Sure, this man is stronger than the average human, but he gets bodied by Kratos. You see Kratos pummeling Baldur right here? Yeah, each one of those hits are murking
I'm about
Batman
to
on
say,
the spot.
bro, I was
Batman
literally
fans-
about to say, I was literally about to say, bro. Literally about to say, I'm about to say,
pummeling Baldur
dead,
right here. Yeah,
dead,
each one of those
dead,
hits are murking
dead,
Batman
dead.
on the spot.
I was
Batman
literally
fans
about to say
will
that, I
clamor
swear to
about Gotham
God.
being so difficult to deal with threats like Bane, Clayface, and the Joker, the Penguin.
Bane
No
not-
one except
Bane is
Batman,
not
the
holding
strongest,
Kratos,
smartest
bro.
character ever, is able to beat these guys. In reality, if any hero willing to murk or cripple these guys were in Gotham, Gotham will be chilling in like a month. Like, I think Symbiote Spider-Man could do some real damage in Gotham.
I was just about to say too. No cap. Batman is such a fraud, and you know he's a fraud, that, yo, if you switch Batman and Spider-Man, if you, like, drop Spider-Man in Gotham and drop Batman in New York City, bro, you would see exactly how quickly, how fraudulent that brother is. No cap.
Honestly, Batman could probably do better in Gotham himself if he just started to use his resources better. Like, I know it's against his rules, but just start shooting people. I'm pretty sure some lead in the Riddler's chest is putting him out of commission
It's
for a little
up
bit.
the
We all saw
blick,
how Iron
bro.
Man was handling enemies in his first
Please.
movie. Can Batman not do similar things? He's coming up with all these gadgets and gizmos when there's probably a more straightforward solution. It doesn't help that Batman be getting got from his writers too when he's able to fight and beat Superman. Or
That's
shoot,
the most cap, bro. I'm not even gonna get into that. That is the most cap, boy. I gotta find a video on that. That is the most cap of all time, and they're getting away with it too. They're getting away with it. They're giving Batman fans the fuel. They're flaming the fuel to their fire. Their idiotic fire. And I
Just
like
straight up
Batman, but he's not. Come on, bro.
boxes of Darkseid. It's things like these that fuel the fire of Batman Glaze. A regular human
I swear I didn't watch this. I swear I didn't watch this. He just happened to say the same thing. My fault, big bro. Let me not steal your sentence no more.
shouldn't be able to do this. Like, you cannot tell me that there isn't some sort of plot involved in this. Why is Batman so strong to these guys? Am I missing something? Is there some sort of power up that he got in the new issue that made him so strong? Why can't he beat everyone? If your answer is because of money and technology, then why is Gotham such a problem for him? Another thing a lot of Batman glazers do is that they will treat a lot of the ideals of Batman and take them to heart as if he's a sane individual. Batman has done a lot of messed up things throughout his various comics, and fans just go with it. Batman is insane. He just hides it well. There's of course the sheer absurdity of the billionaire dressing up as a bat to fight criminals because his family got murked and he still hasn't gotten over the trauma, which he probably should get more therapy for. He also quite literally does the same thing over and over again and expects a different result when handling some of his villains. Y'all should have known this was getting brought up, but what is the fans' defense behind the handling of the Joker? Are we saying that it's because of plot? My bad. We actually can't say that though, because if we assume Joker has plot armor, then we have to assume a lot of the times Batman should have got murked is also plot armor. And we all know Batman has none of that. Personally, I've just accepted that these two are crazy people along with the tippity top of the Batman glazers. Some of the Batman glazers have ruined his character, and honestly, that's rough to see for one of the most popular characters of all time. Okay, so what's that, like 6, 7 characters?
Batman is the most plotted up. You know who else has some plot armor? Crazy plot armor. Monkey D. Luffy. Where is he at? Yeah, that dude right there. He got crazy plot armor. But that's a different topic for a different day.
I'm talking about today. So now I think I got all the main offenders for real. I'm trying to upload more often. I got more videos queued up for this month. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and if there are other characters I didn't mention, just tell me them and why.
Shout out to Olama Sama. Definitely gonna check out more of the videos. This is fire. Definitely go check out the rest of the series. This was fire. And I don't know, subscribe. Like, comment, share. You do what you do, I'm gonna do what I do. The next one. Peace.